Do you think influence is an art or a science? I think it's both. We can use research findings and frameworks to help us select and use influence tactics. However, there is an art to using the right tactics for the right target at the right time that can't be learnt from a book. This is where experience and intuition come in. In this presentation, we will explore a framework that we can use to select a set of influence tactics. Such tactics are used when seeking to influence a person or group. There are a variety of frameworks that explain different influence tactics leaders can use. Three of my favourites are Gary Euchel's typology of 11 influence tactics, Robert Cialdini's 6 principles of persuasion, and Howard Gardner's 7 levers for changing minds. Let's explore the last one, Gardner's 7 levers for changing minds. The first lever, or influence tactic, is reason. In contrast to Cialdini's 6 principles of persuasion, which focuses on using emotions to influence others, this tactic relies on rational persuasion. An example would be a presentation that systematically explains all the reasons why an organisation should be part of a new development project. The second lever is research. This expands on the first lever to provide data to support your views. Again, it relies on rational persuasion. An example would be using a detailed business case or market research data to support a proposal for a new project or policy. The third lever is resonance. A leader with resonance is credible, convincing, and effectively connects with the target audience. An example would be engaging a well-known, respected expert with polished communication skills to present on your behalf to a group of senior decision makers. The next influence tactic is representational redescriptions. This means presenting your message in a variety of formats. For example, a senior leader in global development may communicate their organisation's vision via personal presentations to stakeholder groups, storytelling, video messages, a corporate plan and logo, and various marketing materials. If you've seen the documentary film about climate change called An Inconvenient Truth, you will have seen a good example of this lever being used. The film communicates its central message using expert opinion, personal stories, facts and figures, and graphically presented data. The choice of former US Vice President Al Gore to narrate the film is also an example of the resonance tactic. The fifth lever is resources and rewards. This involves drawing on available resources to demonstrate the viability of the proposed approach or reward people who act in desirable ways. For example, you may have a colleague who's very good at simplifying complex arguments down to a few clear and compelling points. Such a person is a resource who can be used when preparing communication materials. Financial incentives can also be used for influence. For example, government rebates are commonly used to encourage people to adopt new technologies such as water and energy efficient appliances. The sixth influence tactic is real-world events. Here, a leader uses significant, well-known events to support their ideas. For example, a devastating tropical storm in one part of the world that has captured the media's attention can be used locally to encourage stakeholders to prepare for the coming storm season. The final lever in Gardner's framework is resistances. This approach involves anticipating key arguments that are likely to be made against the proposal and identifying ways to diffuse these arguments. For example, imagine you are a development leader who is promoting new construction methods in earthquake-prone countries to minimise the loss of life due to building collapse. Consultation with local stakeholders has identified 2 principal concerns with your ideas that will need to be specifically addressed in your influence attempts. The first relates to overall construction cost. The second relates to whether local builders have the resources and skills to fully implement your new approach. Have you used some of these 7 influence tactics? I suspect you have. If so, to what extent did you carefully consider your choice of tactics? Which combination of tactics to use, their sequence of delivery, and their timing? In the second part of this presentation, we will look at the steps a savvy leader would typically work through as they design a significant influence strategy. This overall process includes selecting a set of influence tactics that are likely to be successful given the context, like the 7 levers we have just explored.